Hey guys, what's up? So here's a clip on your biggest bank account. Now I want you to keep in mind, it's an extended metaphor. So what is your biggest bank account? Well, it's time, for sure. So when is this bank account of time at its biggest amount? When we're born, guys, duh. Now there's a difference between when it's at its biggest amount and the value of it. Let me explain. At that point, when we're born, we are at our richest, in the availability of time. Our time bank accounts are at their biggest amount, and yeah, even more than the Gupta's accounts. They're loaded with time that holds potential. We are the potential. And as we've gone about with our lives, from that day of birth, what we make of our time determines the currency this account trades with, which then determines the value of this biggest bank account. In other words, 500,000 US dollars to a million rands, or $4, I call them that. You see, even though a million rands is a bigger number, it has way less value than 500,000 US. So even though we lose time every day, by spending it wisely, we add value to our lives. See the difference now? Now, what is the primary way for a bank account with a lump sum of cash to earn more money? Definitely not from betting on any of Mayweather's opponents, ever. Just thought I'd put it out there. Still effective. Anyways, it's through interest, guys. Now, if we look at the word interest, it in essence means that we show the bank enough interest to keep our money with them, that they show us interest back by giving us money. That's the reward. And so the value of the account grows. Now, in life, we have our TBA, time bank account. That's the abbreviation we're going to give it, just BTW, before you WTF your screen at me. So we have our TBA, and we want to add value to it. So we need it to earn interest. And we earn interest on our TBAs by spending our time wisely. So the different things we do with our time will determine how much interest it earns. For example, spending quality time with our friends and family, but not on the WhatsApp group, ne? I'm talking about real quality time, to a point where it feels real good inside. You've earned interest, as you've added value to your life. Now we'll get back to other ways of earning interest in a minute, but I want to talk a bit about the charges. Yep, every bank needs to charge you or they can't grow, and in this case, the universe needs to challenge us, or we can't grow stronger and wiser. So some charges on your TBA are going to be inevitable, like being stuck in traffic. There's nothing we can do about it. It's the same concept as a queue, or having to go to home affairs. And that's probably why they call it home affairs. They want us to feel right at home while we wait. I have no idea why I did that accent. Anyways, let's look at these as ATM charges. There are small mandatory charges to the TBA. There's much bigger ones that cause stress and worry to the mind. Things such as breakups in relationships, what people think of you, tests and exams, every time Zoomer talks. Your business is in a bad position, and any other tough situations the universe will bring upon us. Stressing and worrying is a waste of time. We've heard the saying before, and it really is, simply because the clock has to turn, meaning that things always get better over time. So I want you to imagine your life as one big clock, and every situation in your life has a clock of its own. 12 p.m., things are great. It's the brightest time of the day. 6 p.m. though, things couldn't get worse. Now, when the universe throws challenges at us, our attitude towards the situation determines how quick things come right again. So the more positive and wise we are with our time, the quicker we can get those clock hands to the 12 p.m. again. So you see why they say things like, history repeats itself, or life is like a circle. Like a circle. Because you see, guys, those clock hands will move anyway. But you don't waste time stressing and waiting for things to change, losing value on your TBA in the process. Now that we understand the charges, I want to talk a bit about earning interest on our TBA. There's plenty of ways to spend our time wisely, but there are two things we need to focus our time on most. Health and wealth. But I'm not talking about money wealth. Chasing money is a waste of time. I'm talking about the wealth within ourselves. Making time to work on ourselves is vital. It holds the most value. By making time to work on ourselves fully and only, we begin to find our true talents and passions. Things begin to come together like a puzzle. So if you're interested in something, even a tad, make the time to explore it. An hour a day or an afternoon a week, but make the time and be persistent. Everyone has talents if they find the time to discover them. You'll begin to grow confident and happy, and not to mention in a constantly humble manner, because it's the most real feeling. And what's ultimately happening is you're getting to know yourself better than you thought was possible. And this has a ripple effect on everything. Others will begin to notice your talents and aura that you put out, and will want the same for themselves because you're working from within yourself out, and this is contagious. Now there becomes a potential demand for your talent, and this is where the probability of real money rolling in begins to happen. And so your TBA isn't only earning interest on what it has, it's receiving lump sums of value at a time. You've now got an operating business, and you get to use your true talents and passions to make a real living. This, my friends, is priceless. Let's also keep in mind, once we really know ourselves, it becomes a lot easier to work through life's challenges. Those hefty charges that the universe gives us aren't so hefty anymore ever, because you're positive. You'll know yourself in so many dimensions that the hands to your clocks will only know how to make their way to the 12 p.m. You'll be able to value your time at all times. And of course, it's important to be healthy. I mean, you want to live long enough to reap the value of this beautiful time bank account you've got. So guys, as I finish off, I want to mention, never waste anyone's time. In any context, there's so many challenges in life as it is. As for yourselves, value your time, tap into your interests, set goals, set dates, and make sure that your TBA earns interest at prime rates.
Yep. Oh, shit.
What?
I don't think you recorded.
What? Don't fuck
I
with me.
didn't press play.
Don't fuck with me.
I'm just kidding.
You bastard!